Okay, so I think we can start now. For the online, hope my voice is clear for you. Can you please confirm me once whether I'm audible or not? So in the last class, we have seen which concept? S3 backend done, locals done, and workplace also done. I think taint also done, right? Previous day, huh? Okay, fine. So in today's session, we are going to speak about the concept of meta arguments. Which one? Basically, this meta arguments is gonna be like a very big concept actually, and which is very important in terms of the real-time aspect. Okay, so in the meta arguments, the first concept is gonna be depends on. The name itself is indicating depends on means one resource creation is depending upon. For example, let's say you have two resources, VPC and subnet. If I want to create my EC2, first of all, I need to create my subnet or not, sir. That means EC2 creation is depending upon subnet. So like this, if you want to manage the dependency of your resources, in that case, we are going to use the concept called meta depends on. So depends on is a concept from meta arguments. Meta arguments is very large concept. In that one, depends on is the first one. Okay. So for example, here I'm going to take two things here. Let me go into sudo hyphen I VM main dot, oh sorry, cd terraform main dot tf. So I don't want this one anymore. I'm just making it simple by a small code here. Name will be Raham server. Name will be Raham server. But again, I'm going to write the code here called S3 code. Which code? Resource. Tell me the syntax. Resource. AWS. Bucket name, you can give anything. So I'm giving bucket. That's it. So now here, if my bucket got created, then only I want to create my server, or otherwise I don't want to create my server. First of all, my bucket need to create, then only I want to create my server. So in that case, what I can do is here I can go and write the depends on. What I can write? Depends underscore on is equal to my bucket, my EC2 creation is going to depend upon S3 bucket. So you need to mention AWS S3 bucket with block name 2 itself. 2. Oh, sorry, 2. That's it. So now if you define like this, automatically what happened? You know, first of all, after creating the bucket only, my server will be created. So let's give Terraform FMT itself. Tell me. AWS instance. It's completely fine. This block name is user defined. You can give whatever you want. So as per the code here, it is telling that the creation of the bucket is depending upon, creation of server is depending upon S3 bucket. So if I give Terraform apply directly, Terraform apply. Now automatically first bucket will create. After that, my EC2 create. If bucket is not created, then my EC2 is not going to be create. That's it. So generally we use bucket 2 has not been declared inside the root module. TWO2. AWS instance, hey, no, this name is completely all right. Wait. Reference to undeclared resource, subnet ID. Okay, wait. In the EC2 instance, I removed the subnet. Na. Subnet code I removed. Na. So, but here I'm giving subnet ID. That is the reason it is not creating. It will create now. Go and check. So first of all, is bucket creating or not, sir? After bucket creating, then only my EC2 server will come into the picture. If I go to my instances section, and I'll open buckets parallelly. First of all, you will see the bucket here. Are you able to see bucket here? DevOps bucket by Raham 0099. So after creating the bucket, now only your each2 instance will comes into the picture. Okay. So whenever if your resource is having some other external dependency, in that case, which concept you are going to use? Depends on. So online is the concept of depends on. Clear for all of you know? Can you please confirm? Definitely we use this. Let me rename to Raham. I think you are pinging to Naresh ID host. Okay. So definitely see, for example, in real time, I tell you where I use it on a subnet and VPC interlinking to EC2. And I use it on load balance also. If my web server created, then only create load balancer. Otherwise, don't create load balancer like that. Next concept is going to be count. I think already you know what is count, right? Count is to create the identical object which is having the same configuration. For example, if I go here and if I put count is equal to 2 or 3, how many servers I'm going to create? 3 servers. Generally, you know, but if I give 3, all of them are going to have the same name. VIM main.tf. I'm going to remove the bucket code now. So here what I'm going to put is I'm going to put count is equal to 3. Count is equal to 3. For example, here if I give the command called like dev server. So I'm going to get 3 dev servers. Let me go and execute Terraform apply. Remember, count is used to create the identical object. That means all the configuration need to be same. Okay. I'll tell you how to apply different configuration also. Don't worry it as of now. We can use loops. I'll teach you. So now go ahead and check. Currently, how many servers you are having now? Dev server, dev server, dev server. Sir, for example, I want to get server number 1, dev server 2, dev server 3. In that case, how it is possible? So in that case, you can use count actually. If I use count dot index plus 1, now I am going to get the value. For example, see, if I add this one directly to my console, see what will happen. Dollar stand for variable. I think all of you know this one. VM main.tf dev server hyphen copy this one. So here count dot index plus 1 means first of all dev server will be the common. Okay. Count dot index. What is the first server index? 0. 0 plus 1. That means first server name will be dev server 1. Similarly, dev server now count dot index plus 1. For second server, what is the value? 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So like this, it is going to give the value dev server 1, dev server 2, dev server 3. Let me go ahead run Terraform apply. So based upon the index number, it is going to add plus 1 value. Go ahead and check. So automatically, if I go here and if I click on refresh, automatically you'll be getting the dev server 1, dev server 2. So if you want to give the server numbers like 1, 2, 3, so this is the way how exactly you are going to use it. So is it clear for all of you know? So how to give the numbers for the servers here? just to do count.index plus 1. First server index will be 0. 0 plus 1 means 1. Second server index 1. 1 plus 1 means 2. Third server index 2. 2 plus 1 will be 3. Is it clear for all of you know? Online, is it clear for all of you know, like how to give the different numbers for different servers? Can you please confirm in chat box? Yes. So it completely depends upon your index number. Which one? Index. Let me destroy them. Sir, you are giving that similar names, but what if I have first server as dev server, second one as test, third one as prod, or first server as web server, second server as app server, third one is DB. So in that case, how you can allocate? By default, count is not created to give these kind of things. Count main purpose is to create the identical objects. But if the objects are not identical, in that case, count will not work. For that process, we are going to use the concept called loops actually. Which one? Loops. But before loops, you can also use one more concept called count of length. Which one? I'll explain what is this one. For example, let's take, I want to give 3 servers. First server name will be web server. Which one? Or dev server, anything is fine. First server name is dev server. I want instance as T2 micro. Second one is test server. I want T2 medium. For third server is production. I want it as. So in that case, how exactly you can deal with this configuration? So now you have 3 different configurations. So in that case, no need to write 3 different blocks. For example, if I go here, vim main.tf, let me explain you. So if you are having 3 different servers, so basically first server, go and write T2 micro. Okay. And for second server, go and write T2 large. I'm just telling you, like, if you don't use this concept, what we need to do? T2 large. And name of the server will be, instead of dev, what I'm going to put here? Test. Test. And third one will be, for example, here name of the server will be prod server. Which server? And your name will be T2 large itself. Which one? So if I have 3 different configurations, this is the way how I need to write the files. But instead of writing this much of lengthy files, we can use the concept called variables and length. For example, let's take, I have variables call. So instance name is going to modify. So I need to take the variable or not, sir? Just put var dot, take the values from variable section called instance type. Generally, like, it's the general variable declaration. Okay. Instance underscore type. Again, for name is also going to be changing. So again, here you are going to get var dot instance name, var dot instance underscore. Now let's see how many variables I'm having. So how many variable blocks I want to give? 2 variables. That means 2 variable blocks. First variable name is type. So for instance type, give the values directly default. What are the 3 different instance values we are going to have? First one is T2, comma, second one T2 medium, third one T2 dot large. Like that. Okay. So now coming to what is second variable? Instance name. So I'll copy paste them directly here. So here I need to give instance name. And in the value section, instead of T2 micro, first of all, first server name will be dev server. Second one will be third one will be prod server. Okay. So now for dev server, I'll get the T2 micro. For test server, I'll get the T2 medium. But for prod, I need to get T2. But before I go and execute, I need to change some small configurations, sir. You are taking the instance names from variable block called instance. But how you need to assign the value? I need to assign the value called count dot index. That means in the index, what is the first value? Dev server. In the index, what is the second value? In the index, what is the third value? Prod. Okay. Similarly, for instance type also, take the value from count dot index. For instance type, what is the first value? Micro. Second value? Medium. And third value? Large. Fine. But sir, here you cannot define the value directly 3. Why? Because count, I am taking the length of variable block called instance type or instance name. Anything you can take, instance type or instance name. That means here I am defining that count value. Count value I am defining, take the length of the variable block called instance type. In variable block, how many values are there? So count will become 3. For example, in the variable section of instance type, if I put one more value, like this, comma, t2 dot nano. Now how many values I'm having? 4. So count is referring the length of the variable block called instance type. So instance block is having 4 values. Now what is the count value here? So is the process clear for all of you how I am referring the count value here? Count value is referring the variable block called instance type. So here I'm having 3 variables. So I'll be having 3 as count. For example, if I have 10 here, now count will become, if I have 10 values here, now count will become 10. So you can refer instance type or you can refer instance name. Why? Because both of them are having the same itself. This is the way how you can deal with the multiple configuration. In the last class, I said the concept of TFVARs. It is alternative for TFVARs. If you don't want to use TFVARs, in this way also you can able to configure your infrastructure. Now AMI will be same. So instance type, I am taking from variable block called instance type here. Count dot index. So first one will be T2 micro, medium, large. Name will be again count dot index. First one dev server, test, prod. Now go and execute. Terraform, apply, auto, approve. At a time, you can create only one, but here you can execute all of them 3. Depends upon your choice actually. Now say I'm creating 3 servers. Let me click on refresh. Dev server you got created with instance type of T2. Test server with the instance type of T2. And prod you create with the T2 large. For example, in future, if I want to create one more server, I don't modify anything. Directly I go to main.tf, I add the values. Fourth one will be T2 nano. For example, let's take T2 dot nano. And I want to apply T2 nano for the server called, let's take U8 or like any other server, just UAT server. That's it. Simply now you go and give Terraform apply. Automatically that server will come with that new one. Is it creating one to add now? Go ahead and check it out. Click on refresh. Are you getting UAT now with T2? So it is simple way to define the configuration or not, sir? That's it. So this is the concept of count actually. Which one? Count. So online is the concept of counter with different configuration. Clear for all of you? Can you please confirm in chat box? What about remaining people? I'm getting response from only 3 to 4. If it is clear, let me know. Why? Because your feedback is going to be very, very important. Otherwise, I cannot able to track whether you are following me or not. Okay. Sorry, production server ఒకటి. Hmm. That's how real time work actually. Even in my organization, we have dev and test will be common for all the clients. Okay, production is gonna be changed. Production and UAT. Okay, so next concept is gonna be for each concept. Which one? For each. For each, main purpose is to create the resource with different configuration. Which one? Different. For example, if you can go and see, I'm using dev server, I'm using test server, and I'm using prod. Different configuration or not, sir? So if I go and see, my first server name will come each dot key. What is the key here? Dev server. Next one is test. Next one is prod. Here you are going to use for each loop. Which one? This for each loop will execute all the values one by one. And to set is to extract the data actually. If you want to get data one by one, in that case, I'm going to use the function called whenever if you are seeing these braces, okay? Before brace, if you see any value, that is what we can call as function actual. Which one? In previous case also you have given the brace, but before brace, what you are seeing length. Length is a function. So in Terraform, there are some predefined functions which you need to understand the real-time aspect. If you see anything before the braces, then that is what you can call as function. So now if I copy paste it directly, if I copy paste this one, so instance type will be T2 micro. It is gonna be common. But no, sir, if I want to set instance type separately, previous example we seen, right? Same kind of example you can set. So now if we go and execute this one, wait, Terraform apply. Oh, destroy, not apply. Now you can see three different servers with the name of dev server, test and prod. So in a interview, they are going to ask you what is the difference between count and for each. Count will use it to create same configuration, but for each will use it to create the different configuration. That's it. Of course, here I'm just using only name of the servers, but if you want to use instance type differently, give variable section, just like your previous example. Are you seeing dev and test and prod? Like this. So now again, I can go and destroy the objects. That's it. First of all, we have seen the concept of depends on. Depends on main purpose is to one resource creation is depending upon other resource. Second one, count. Count is to create the identical object which is having the same configuration. But even though if you have different configuration, is the variable section in the count. Next, for each is used to create the different configuration objects. Okay, simply alternative for the count itself. Online are the first three concepts. Depends on count and for each. Clear for all of you? Can you please confirm in chat box once? Okay, fine. So now next year I'm gonna teach you an important concept called current state versus desired state. Which one? Current versus desired. For example, let's go and create an EC2 instance. I want only one. I don't want all of them three. Go for VM main.tf. AMI instance type and name. So I'm gonna give the name of the server as Raham server. Which one? Let me create this one. You are removing the code now. If you remove the code from main.tf, automatically delete. I'll show you. Wait, okay. See, current state is nothing but currently what is your EC2? Desire state means what you write on the configuration file. Simply in real time, if they ask you current status, is nothing but how your instance is running. Desire state means what you write in the configuration. For example, in the main.tf, whatever the code you are seeing is called as desire state. Which state? And what exactly you are running on your console, that is called as current state. So in Terraform, whenever if you create an EC2 instance, if you try to modify the current state, currently what is the name of the server here? Raham server. I'm gonna make it as Raham server to dev server. Which server? If I try to modify this one, see what will happen. If I try to give Terraform apply, I'm trying to give Terraform. I have modified the name manually or not, sir? See. Now it is gonna show me you modify the name called dev server, but initially in configuration, which name you have given? That means if you give Terraform apply, your modification will go away. Your modification will, and it try to bring back to desired state. Terraform will always make sure you are having your desired state. Is the point clear for you? Terraform will always make sure that you will be running your configuration on desired state only. Currently, what is the current state value here? It is the current state. But if I try to give Terraform apply, it is going to give me the desired state. In the desired state, what is the value I have given? So whenever if you do any manual configuration, if you run Terraform apply, Terraform will bring it back to the desired state. So it's going to be interview question. They're asked on a scenario basis, and it's a certification exam question also. For example, you create the infrastructure, but one of your teammate modify the infrastructure. Now, if you run your Terraform apply, what will happen to the Terraform configuration? Terraform bring back to the desired state. What is desired state here? What you write on the configuration code. So now if I run Terraform apply, let me run Terraform apply. Terraform apply, if I go and click on refresh, what will happen? It again came back to desired state. So now again I'll go and try to change it to some other server called ABC server. Which server? Now is the current state modified or not, sir? If you modified current state, if you run Terraform apply, what will happen again? It will bring back to your. First of all, let me show the difference. If you want to see the difference between current state and desired state, use the command Terraform apply. Sorry, plan. Which one? Terraform? Terraform plan command will show the difference between your current state versus desired state. You can see it now very clearly. ABC is your current state. But if you run Terraform apply, you will get to your Terraform apply. Now again, it will change back to the state. But you can find out. I'll tell you. We can see it. I'll tell you how to do it. Okay. Now, if I go and see, click on refresh. Again, it will come back to which state? That's it. So it's the concept of current versus desired. Current means what is running on your console. Desired means what you write on the configuration file. So now in the concept of meta arguments, I'm gonna teach you how to avoid this one. There is a concept called ignore changes. Which one? Ignore changes is nothing but, for example, if anybody try to change your infrastructure, and if you want to ignore that one, in that case, life cycle, you can put ignore changes. So let me go and give vim main.tf. I'm gonna add this to my life cycle. Let me give Terraform FMT, you'll get clarity. Terraform FMT. Cat main.tf. So it's my code. Whenever if somebody modify any resource configuration, ignore that configuration. Don't do anything. Now you can go and see what is the current state and desired also Raham, both are equal. Now, if I try to modify the current state to ABC now, what I'm giving here? ABC. If I give ABC now if I give Terraform plan, basically Terraform plan need to show the differences. But see Terraform plan, what will it do now? Is it completely ignoring or not, sir? You can see it very clearly. Current is ABC, but decide it. So if somebody manually modify your infrastructure and if you want to ignore that changes, you don't want to do it anymore. So in that case, you can put the ignore changes. No, it won't reflect. Yeah, basically we don't do it. But if you want to do, this is the way actually. Okay. So like that. This is the one of the concept of meta arguments. Which one? Meta arguments. Let me destroy and explain some other concept for you. That is Terraform lifecycle call create before destroy and prevent destroy. First of all, I'll explain prevent destroy. Prevent destroy is nothing but if you create a resource, if you do Terraform destroy, it is going to delete or not, sir? But if you put prevent destroy, the resource will not be deleted. So it is going to make sure our instance is never going to delete, even though if you try to use destroy command. That is called as prevent destroy. Is it done now? Now if I go and check here, give me 1 second, guys. If I go and see now, I'll be having my server running here. Let me click on refresh. Is it running here now? Oh, where it is gone, man. Oh, register data. Sorry, wait. Concept I haven't explained. Okay, wait. VM main.tf. Now here instead of ignore changes, I'm gonna put prevent destroy. What I'm gonna put? Prevent is equal to true. I need to put. So this is a boolean actually. Which one? Boolean. So put true or false. We have only two options. Let me apply now. Done. So now if we go and see, if I click on refresh, do you have an EC2 now? RAM server. Try to destroy it. I'm using Control R, and if you type destroy, automatically the full command will come. Okay. If you can go and see, instance cannot be. Why? Because resource AWS instance 2 has lifecycle prevent destroy set, but the plan is calling the resource to be destroyed. To avoid this error, continue with the plan or either disable the lifecycle prevent destroy. So in real time, some resources you never want to delete in real time. In that case, for those resources, you can put the prevent destroy true. But if I go to main.tf and if I set to false, now automatically it is gonna destroy. Check it out. Restrict means basic, like which restriction? Yep. So let me go here, and if I click on refresh now, what will happen? See, it got destroyed. Basically, for prevent destroy in real time, we put only true. If you put false, what is the purpose of giving life cycle? No, right? So this is the way how we exactly need to understand. Okay, prevent destroy is gonna restrict your EC2 termination. But it is gonna put always true. If you put false, then there is no use of using the life cycle itself. So online is a concept of prevent destroy. Clear for all of you know? Can you please confirm me once? They'll provide what? Only some users need to work on infra. Like not everybody will work on infra in real time actually. Okay. So and next one is gonna be ignore changes. I mean like it's done right already. Next one is gonna be create before destroy. Which one? Create before destroy. So what happened means, see, first of all, I'm gonna put it false. Later, I'm gonna show you true. By default, if you create an EC2 instance, let me apply. I'll show you the behind the scenes how it is gonna work. So listen to the concept. By default, you have an EC2 instance in your like in your console. Sir, if I try to change the AMI, if I try to change the inside, for example, instance type from T2 micro to T2 medium, now it is gonna change the instance type only. Okay. Or if I try to change a server name, it is gonna change the name. But if I try to change AMI, what will happen? You know, first of all, the service will delete. Then again, it is gonna create. So for instance type name and any of the rest of the things, server will try to modify it. But if you change AMI, to changing AMI, server will delete and again it is gonna. That means by default, what is the first operation here? And then later. But sir, if I delete it and if I create, I'm gonna lose the time actually. So in that case, instead of deleting first, create the new server and delete the existing one. So this kind of behavior, we are going to change it. So let me show you practically. For example, here my EC2 got created. Okay. So if I try to show vim main.tf, if I try to change the name from Raham server to some other server, ABC. If I try to go Terraform apply, now the name only will change. Server will not deleted. Only the name will be modified. Is it modifying or not, sir? Now again, if I try to change instance type, for instance type also instead of T2 micro, I want to get T2 medium. Now again, here also you can see all the instance type will be changed, but server is not gonna delete. You can check it. Is it modifying or not, sir? Plus means creating, minus means deleting, tilde means modifying. So, but if I try to change AMI, server will delete first and again it is gonna create. Let me show you. But I have given false now. Okay. So let me go to AMI. So I'll take one AMI. I'll take Ubuntu AMI. Currently I'm using Amazon Linux AMI, but I'll try to switch it to Ubuntu AMI. These are the custom AMIs actually. I need to go to AMI catalog. Take Ubuntu. Control C. It will take some time. Wait for it. Terraform is very big concept actually. To master Terraform, you need to put definitely hands on. So now it is changed, but this time I want to change AMI. What I want to change? So if I try to change AMI, now complete server will be deleted first, then only it is gonna create. Why? Because here I put preventer. Sorry, if I put here. Of course, even though if you don't put for the practical, it is completely fine. Even though if you don't put, but I'm putting it here, okay? Or like, let me remove this first of all. I'm not leaving, okay? Now if I get Terraform apply, it's gonna recreate. Just give me a couple of minutes back, like I'll be online, okay? Just observe the behavior. I'll be back in like a couple of minutes. Okay, so now you can see, first of all, it got destroyed and then later it is going to create. So it is a by default behavior. But if you do like this, first of all, your server will be inaccessible for some time. So you'll be having some downtime. That is the reason why we are going to change the default behavior. So now in the main node here, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put here life cycle. What I'm going to put here? What is the life cycle? I'm going to put create before destroy. What I'm going to put here? The moment we put create before destroy, automatically, whenever the next time, if I try to change AMI, if I try to change AMI, now what exactly will happen, you know? First of all, it is gonna create the new server. Then only it is going to delete the existing one. So let me change the AMI. Previously I take Ubuntu, but again I am going back to Amazon Linux 2. Now go Terraform apply. So this time you won't see the deletion first, you will be seeing the creation. Check it out. Is it creating first? Previous behavior was destroyed. Let me show you. Previously, you can see it. First of all, it got destroyed. Where is the previous action? Terraform apply here. You can see it. It is a previous one. First of all, it got destroyed. Where it is? Let me scroll down still. First of all, it got destroyed, and after that, then only it got created. But now you can see, first of all, it got creating, then only it is going to destroy. So this is the feat what we can achieve with the help of create before destroy. So is the concept of Terraform lifecycle create before destroy clear for all of you know? Online, can you please confirm, is the concept of Terraform create before destroy clear for all of you or not? Can you please confirm in chat box? Yes, it was clear. Okay, here I have given. If you want to recreate any object in Terraform, first of all, Terraform will destroy and then it is going to create the new one. But it will create a new replacement object first and then gonna destroy existing one with the help of which one? Create before destroy. So note change AMID and instance type. Of course, AMID is completely enough. Instance type is not required. Okay. But remember, only for AMID it is gonna delete and recreate. If you change instance type or any other attribute, it is not gonna recreate itself. Okay. Yep. Just modify it. That's it. Sir, when can I get the list of functions parameter used in lifecycle? Okay, where can I? So you can get from official documentation actually. If you go to official documentation, you can see everything. Let me show you. If I go to Terraform, just type this one. Directly you can go to official documentation. You can go for docs. It is official documentation, okay? If you go and see, here you can read the complete documentation actually. Like who was for this question? Sachin Sahu. We can change? Volume will keep update now. It is not gonna recreate. AMI volume detail basis. It won't like simply AMID you can do now. That is a lengthy process what you are telling. Okay. Yeah. So next one will be called as version constant. But before that, let me go and give the content for you till now. So it is the complete class about the meta arguments. It's a complete concepts in the meta arguments, what I can say. So if you go to Terraform meta arguments, just type Terraform meta arguments here. Meta arguments. Okay. So in the official documentation, you can go here. Meta arguments. First of all, have you seen depends on? Second, have you seen count with examples? Third, have I gone with for each? Fourth, have I gone for life cycle? Fifth one, provider also, provider means like it is going to define what in the cloud actually. So basically, not only single provider in Terraform, we can work with the multiple providers. Let me show you some other providers also. In Terraform, coming to the concept of providers, Terraform will support majorly three types of providers. I'm talking about types actually. Let me go and explain this on the very high level overview. Just type Terraform providers. Currently, I'm using which kind of provider in Terraform? But if you go and see, if I scroll down, how many providers are there? 4289. By upcoming next month, it will change. It can go to 5,000 also. Even you can write your own provider. Coming to the categories of providers, Terraform will be having three type of providers: official provider, partnered. Official means Terraform will take care of these providers: AWS, Azure, GCP, and Kubernetes. These four will be the major official providers. That means these providers are going to be made by the HashiCorp. I mean, like Terraform. HashiCorp means Terraform. No, Terraform will take care of the provider plugins. So it is safe way to use these official providers in real time. Second one will be partnered. Partner means both the Alibaba Cloud and Terraform will work on the providers. And here Oracle Cloud and provider will work on the, Terraform will work on the providers. That means these kind of providers are going to manage by company as well as Terraform. But first official providers are going to manage by complete. Terraform will manage it, but partner will be managing by both Terraform and the company. Third one will be community providers. Community provider will be managing by the individual. For example, I'm a person. I want to give new provider for Terraform. I can use it and I can give it. But it is not safer way to use community provider. Why? Because this is not going to maintain by Terraform or any other. It is going to maintain by individual. If I give a provider, if I have a bug in the provider, if I can't fix it, automatically user will get bugs or not, sir? So it is not always recommended to use the community providers. It is safer way to use official and partnered like that. So here that is what I have described. Let me go and show you providers. Sorry, Nashi Corp also we are having. Let me write this one. Providers. Terraform will support thousands of providers in real time. But among them, we are not going to use some specific providers which is going to maintain by community. Okay. First of all, first provider types is no. Official. Official. Official is gonna maintain by Terraform. Second one, partnered. The second one, you can say it here. Sorry. These are the types actually I can say. Okay. So among official, we have some subcategories like AWS and everything. Okay. Official, partner, maintained by Terraform and company. Okay. And that organization. Okay. Third one will be community. Maintained by individuals. Okay, like that. So the concept of Terraform providers clear for all of you now? Yes. Okay. So let me go and explore some different providers. Example for official is AWS, Azure, GCP. Example for partnered Alibaba and Oracle. Example for community, lot of, okay, like that. Currently IBM is acquired. Previously it was HashiCorp, but now it is maintained by IBM completely. For 6.4 billion, they sold it out. So currently I shown you how to work with the AWS provider, right? But I'm going to show you how to work with the GitHub provider. For example, let's take if you want a GitHub repository. So GitHub will have the provider. So with the help of GitHub provider, we can create GitHub repos also. Let me go ahead and show you quickly. Let me destroy the first one. But before destroying, I'll tell you one thing. For example, you are having the code. You are having what here? If you remove the code, in your Terraform configuration file, and if you go Terraform apply, automatically the server will be deleted. So remember, once you write the code in main.tf, after applying, if you delete the code in the configuration file and it will apply, Terraform will automatically go into remove the EC2 also. Is it removing or not? Only if you apply. If you don't apply, it is not going to remove. That is the answer for your query. You asked the question, right? Automatically removed. It is not automatically removed. You remove the previous code and give some new code and run Terraform apply. Okay. So make sure this point. Of course, even though if you comment and run, then also it is going to be deleted. I'll tell the comments in the next section. Okay. So now go ahead and see vim main.tf. So here, instead of provider AWS, now I'm going to put provider GitHub. What I'm going to put? Okay. Region is not required for GitHub. So instead of region, I'm going to put token. Which one? That means I am creating the GitHub repo. So I need to give my token or not, sir? Without giving my token, how can it authenticate? For AWS resource, we give access key and secret key. But for GitHub, we need to give the token itself. So go and generate a token once. What happened to my password? It is showing incorrect password and username for everything. When something is wrong, my passwords are not working for any of the console. No, but I think like why is the reason it's happening? I need to know now. Let me reset it very quickly. Link not yet came. Oh, here. Man, I haven't seen this. No, I thought I clicked there. Okay, let me reset. Hmm. That's it. So let me go and quickly generate a token. You can use the existing token. Let me go and regenerate that same token. Copy this one and give it here. Okay. So after that, now we need to give the repository code. Basically, if you don't know how to write the code, what you can do is directly go to the internet and type GitHub provider code. Just type here Terraform GitHub provider code. So automatically from the official documentation, you can take the code itself. Are you seeing the code itself? In real time, I'll take the code from official documentation. Why to write the code? You don't write the code actually, okay? So you can directly take and you can directly give it. So it is a code actually, okay? Provider is GitHub and you can write whatever you want. So here in my notes, I already have the code. So I'm not gonna take it from the official documentation, just give GitHub. Just give a token itself. Think, wait. Even though you can take ChatGPT help also. Terraform code for GitHub repo. You can type any code of Terraform, it will show you. So here I have this one. If I copy this one, so already I have given the token itself. So I'll copy the rest of the things from here. So now here, whatever the things I want, I can able to modify that one. I'm gonna modify the rest of the things here. So name will be example repo, description. That's it. So remaining things is not necessary for me. I can remove everything. So just to give name and description. Just to go and give Terraform. What I need to give Terraform? Init. Why? Because it's a new provider. For every provider, you are going to download the plugin. Now give Terraform, apply directly. So if you go and see, now automatically you are going to have the, like I'll take a duplicate session of this one. Automatically you will be having the new repository on your GitHub actually. If we go to home, in the section of repositories, are you seeing your example repo? This just now created. Are you seeing this now? Just now. So it is a repository what you create from Terraform. So similarly, if I want to delete this one, I need to give Terraform destroy. But you need to observe one thing. In your token, if you enable delete repo, then only this will delete. Otherwise, it's not going to delete. Let me show you. I am disabling the delete repo and update the token. Now, if I run Terraform apply, it will create the repo. But if I give Terraform destroy, it is not going to destroy anymore. Is it destroying now? Now, why? Because delete. 403 must have admin rights to delete the repository. So make sure that whenever if you are giving the token, for creation it is fine, but for deletion definitely need to enable the repo. Now after updating this one, is it able to delete or not, sir? Check it out. Deletion done or not? So make sure that you are going to give the delete repo permissions for your Terraform, or otherwise it is not gonna delete. So the same code I'm giving it for here. GitHub. We can use. That means basically we don't create repos from Terraform actually. Directly you can go and create, but there is a chance to create. But it doesn't mean you need to create from Terraform itself. Okay. And there is one more provider called local provider. Let me show this one also. Local. For example, with the help of local provider, you can create the local files itself. So let me go and show you how this will work. So in the provider section, I'm gonna give it as local. Which provider? Local. So resource, I'm gonna create as local file. So definitely need to put here, first of all, local, it's a provider, and what I'm creating here, file. And name of the file one can be anything. So I'm gonna give it as name one. So here you need to give the inputs now. Inputs are nothing but arguments actually. Just to give file name. What I'm giving? abc.txt. And you can use content. What I can give? Content I am giving. Hi all. My file is created by Terraform. That's it. So now go and give Terraform first of all. Init. Why? Because it's a new provider. So definitely need to download the new plugins. Now directly go and give Terraform. Now if I give LL, are you seeing abc.txt on your local? Give the cat abc.txt. Are you seeing the content or not, sir? So this is the way how exactly you are going to deal with the local resource. Which resource? Local resource. So is the concept of Terraform providers clear for all of you know? Terraform provider main purpose is to use the multiple providers to create any resource. You can use any kind of provider. It can be official, it can be partner, it can be community, but better to use official and partner. Here I shown you AWS provider to create AWS resource. I shown you GitHub provider and I shown you local. And even though you can create Docker container also. What you can create? Let me show that one also. Of course, you can create Kubernetes clusters. I'll show everything. For example, if you go to ChatGPT and if you type Terraform code to create Docker container, but the code will be very big. I am just showing you can create, but you don't create like this. See, if you want to create the Docker image, see how much of a code you need to write here. How much of code you need to write here, sir? Very big or not, sir? Like this. Even if you want to create Kubernetes cluster, Terraform code to create KOps cluster in Kubernetes. Guys, you can create anything. Okay. But for Kubernetes, we use which one? KOps. Are you seeing the code here? This code can able to create the KOps cluster. But again, it is not recommended. We have the KOps to write this one. But again, with the help of Terraform, you can manage everything. That is the thing just I want to tell for you. So is the concept of Terraform providers clear for all of you know? Yes. But here, what is the note point? For every provider, you need to download the plugins. For every provider in Terraform, we need to download the plugins by running Terraform init command. Sorry, in Ansible. Jenkins plugins here. Yeah, here also same thing. So that's it for today's class. In today's class, completely we have wrapped with the concept of meta arguments. Depends on done, count done, for each done, provider done, and lifecycle also done. In tomorrow's class, I'm gonna show you the version constraints. What we are gonna deal? Version constant. Version constant means like how to work with the different provider versions in the Terraform. So now before going for doubts and queries, first of all, how's the class for all of you today? The class clear for everyone? Online, what about you guys? How's the class for all of you? Can you please confirm in chat box? Yeah, that's clear. A morning session will be very nice when compared with evening. Okay, so now it's time for our doubts and queries. Online, if you are having any queries, please raise your hands, and on like online and offline, you can go with your doubts and queries. and I'm updating the notes to Google Classroom. Please, yeah. Definitely. You need to communicate through the email. See, in real time, whatever you want to do, first of all, you need to create an email and you need to raise the ticket. Then only you can do. Otherwise, individually, you won't do anything. That is a protocol actually. Jira, you can use Trello, you can use Outlook is nothing but a mail actually. Your organization will teach you. Don't worry about that. Of course, at the last class, I'll teach you how to create the ticket. Okay. Yes. Everything, whatever you are going to do. Basically, today I spoke with one of the person who is working on real time. Their complete team had been laid off recently. DevOps team. You know what is the reason? Think why? No, no, it's not fake. Think why? No, no. Basically, due to not working with proper IAM policies, their data has been leaked. They have S3 bucket. They have very big data. The data is completely exposed to public. The reason is due to IAM issue. In IAM, they haven't given proper security parameters. So one of the guy intentionally shared the credentials to outside of the organization person. So it got leaked and complete team has been laid off due to that one mistake. Just now, before coming to your class, I spoke with that person. One person, due to one person, the entire team got laid off. But I can tell you that person intentionally leaked. Why? Because if you want to log in with IAM, you need to have the access key. I mean, sorry, you need to have the username, password. After that, also you need to have authentication token. You know MFA, right? If you put authentication token, if somebody try to hack it, they can hack your system. But how can the authenticator can be hacked? So the inspection from my point of view is somebody intentionally shared it, or otherwise it is not gonna be shared. MFA device is very, very secure. Yeah, code keeps on changing. Then I suggested him one thing. Whenever if somebody want to access the data, like if you want to share some credentials, just be on the call. If I am working with buckets, okay, you are a team manager, be in the call until he done his work. So in these kind of situations, it's not gonna fail. Give him a role. Give him a role. Just be in the call how much time he want to work. After his work is done, can you terminate the role or not, sir? We can terminate the role after within 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I suggested him to do this in the next upcoming days. So these kind of security parameters you need to take care in the real time actually. That's what I'm telling. Yeah. And there is one more tool called Terramind actually. You know Terramind? It's not Terraform. It is Terramind. Okay. In real time organization, this tool we are going to use to monitor our system. For example, if my company is giving laptop for you, they will install this software in your local. So Terramind main purpose is to, it is going to track all your activities in system. It is going to track each and everything what you done on our system. For example, if I press enter for 5 times, it will store the logs. Or if I open any website, it will store the logs. It will store each and everything that you've done on your system. These are Terramind software actually. Nobody knows about this one, but I'm sharing with some out of the topic. It might be helpful for you. Okay. Huh? Will. Okay. Sir, yesterday I received 14 lakh offer on my current company position itself. So is there any chance of hike on that into DevOps? That means like you got this 14 lakhs in the DevOps or like any other field, Rohit? Just want to know. Okay, in Vault configuration. Like Vault means in Terraform also we have the Vault. In Ansible also we have the Vault actually. Definitely you can go into DevOps actually. It's possible, Rohit. So basically, you know, Ansible Vault, right? In Terraform also we have the Vault, which will generate the dynamic secrets. It is more advanced than rest of the tools which is having in the recent organizations. Welcome, yeah. Basically, it's not required, but if you want to show, I'll just give a glimpse how the Vault will work. Yeah. Uh, I know. See, we cannot do that one. I'll tell you one thing. It doesn't matter who done the mistake, but it is very, very bad to terminate all the entire team. They need to investigate first of all. Padutundi, but no, it's not like that. It's not like that. See, if the companies will do like this, then they won't have any career in the upcoming days. Okay, they can't do it simply. If those people will do these kind of things, these people can go and drop a complaint in the organization. If you put a complaint in the organization, which one is very bad? Laying off you is the worst person, or that company person is worst అన్న. ఇప్పుడు నేను కంపెనీ లే ఆఫ్ చేసింది, నీ తప్పు లేకుండా వెళ్ళి కంప్లైంట్ పెట్టావు కంపెనీ హెచ్ఆర్ మీద ఎవరో ఒకరి మీద. సో ఇద్దరు స్టేషన్ చుట్టూ జరగాలి. నీకు జాబ్ లేదు, బట్ వాళ్ళకి పనులు ఉంటాయి కదా. సో అలా చేయకూడదు. Yeah, sometimes it happens. So yeah. Like they will ask you why you left the previous job. So in my first of all, I would like to thank to my previous organization for giving me the chance to work with them. I learned a lot of things in my previous organization, but currently I want to secure very good position. My previous company is completely automated. There is nothing to learn in my previous organization, so I just want to explore myself. You can tell like this, okay? Is the formal way of telling this answer, but you cannot tell my previous company is paying less offer, but your offer is very good. Huh? You cannot tell like this. Yeah. Okay then. So that's it for today. So let's meet on tomorrow session with some new topic. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you. Which one? Not world. Which one? I'm not sure. So Srinivas, I'm gonna give interview question. Don't worry it as of now. Okay, we have Terraform interview questions also. Don't worry it. Okay then. So let's meet on your Monday session with some new topic. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you. Thank you everyone.